Huge honor. Today we discuss unrealized potential. Is your Jiu Jitsu gym merely just a gym? Or are we leaving money control and emotional leverage on the table? Because today I'm going to show you how to stop running a autism and steroid human optimization center and start running a high commitment, low accountability, loyalty-based system. This is a Craig Jones business class without the emotional accountability of ethics. A normal jiu-jitsu gym is inefficient. People train, they improve, they go home, they have real friends, they have boundaries. That's not just bad business, that's fucking embarrassing. When I see a coach mowing his lawn or moving furniture into his own house, I think, look at this fucking idiot. You could be outsourcing that labor to a lonely blue belt. What you want is recurring revenue, unpaid labor, emotional leverage, and blind loyalty. So let's go through the checklist and see if you're hitting those KPIs. Because if you are, congratulations, you don't have a gym, you, my friends, have a cult. Founder worship. First thing, you are the brand. You're not a coach, you're not an instructor, you are a humble warrior, monk, philosopher, misunderstood genius. Constantly talk about ego, respect, and discipline, but never for a fucking minute display any of it. Doctor trains at your gym and he's giving medical advice? Fuck him. Who does he think he is? Make sure he knows what you think. Someone has a political opinion, perfect. Agree instantly. Cancel culture does need to be stopped. False accusations are rampant and they should be punished by public execution. You know what? Maybe I like this guy. He's gone places like brown belt. Key principle. If people think you're spiritual, they won't notice you're unethical. That's what I call leadership. We need to set the standard for the next generation of coaches, or as we call them, unpaid interns. Mandatory uniforms, or as I like to call it, visual compliance. Fashion is a French term, which means homosexual. In America, we have something called freedom of expression. We used to have that. It's a thing of the past, because every cult needs conformity. So we're only going to be using our rash guards, our gis, double that price, no alternatives, and well, if someone asks why, who the fuck do you think you are? You don't support the gear, you don't support the team. Congratulations, you just monetized identity. The beauty is these idiots will wear anything. We know this. They wear Affliction, they wear Venom. You don't even need a designer, just a factory in China and a 90% markup. Market isolation. Ban cross-training. Repeat after me. Market isolation. This is a non-negotiable. It is a timeless tradition built into Gracie history. Carlson Gracie termed it creonche, which is Portuguese for I'm insecure about the size of my dick. Sadly, my first cease and desist was selling a tasteful reimagination of the Brazilian top team logo, changing the Brazilian pride flag to a gay pride flag and the silhouette of a man possessing something I can only aspire to. Creonte Top Team. Available now, protected by parity law, I hope. If students train somewhere else, they might discover better coaching, a safer environment, formal rules, maybe even normal adults. We cannot have that. So you say it's disloyal. They don't have real jiu-jitsu. We do things differently here. Create an enemy gym. They're very easy to fabricate. Just remember, fear is the ultimate membership retention tool. The inner circle. Every cult needs middle management. Your inner circle should include at least a couple of jaded, divorced men. They will enforce, they will snitch, and they will attack anyone who questions you. Obviously reward them with faster promotions, proximity to your power, and the occasional compliment. Now the students police themselves. That's what I call scalable leadership. And sometimes, if the gym is special enough, we override the belt system with our own system. Say, juniors and seniors. Because we can't let an outsider black belt join our team and think that belt holds weight. Slow down, compadre. You're merely a junior here. And if you fuck up a technique, I might just slap you in front of the entire gym. You'd honestly be shocked at what you can get away with a rash guard against another growing man, especially if you throw in the occasional foreign language term, say Japanese. Belts as retention. First of all, what is a belt? It's not a ranking system. It is not a measure of skill. A belt is a subscription retention device. It is the carrot in the carrot and stick model that we implement, because Jiu Jitsu is not profitable because of technique. It's profitable because it says the one thing we all want: validation, a myth, a temporary experience. People don't keep training because they love Jiu Jitsu. They keep training because they want to be noticed. A belt is colored validation, proof you matter, proof you're improving, proof you belong. And it's the ultimate symbol of the sunk cost fallacy, because once someone invests years, money, injuries, friendships, identity, they don't leave. Not because they love the gym, because leaving means admitting I gave my life to something that didn't love me back. The hallmark of my favorite relationships, I'd say. The belt isn't a reward, it's a leash. Now, skill-based promotions, outdated. In our cult gym, belts are awarded for loyalty, silence, obedience, defending the brand, and most importantly, defending me. You got a question about that, you'll be a blue belt forever. You want to speak up and voice your opinion, well, maybe you're not ready for that purple belt, but you post a story tagging the gym, thanking me, that's purple belt. The belt doesn't measure your jiu-jitsu, it measures your compliance. Total integration, lifestyle capture. This is what it looks like, living under a fucking bridge. Encourage your students to train every day. Skip family events. Don't date. Unless it's me on the side, you don't tell my wife or kids, obviously. Replace therapy with hard round. And if they resist this logic, well, you must not be that serious, but don't worry. Only 1 to 5% of white belts ever make it to black belt. Now, to them, leaving means they're gonna lose their friends, their identity, their routine, even their purpose. Some might call that a membership. That's leverage. And if you don't know what leverage is, you haven't met the right Latina yet, my friends. We need them to believe that without you, they are nothing. Without the gym, they are nothing. And without a compliment during a round, they are absolutely fucking nothing. Legal flexibility policies like these here are indeed dangerous. Policies create accountability, receipts, and consequences. So instead, like negotiating with any good MMA promoter, especially the best out there, nothing in writing. Keep it verbal, handle it internally, and decide on a case-by-case basis based on who's valuable. If someone complains, and they will, call them sensitive, dramatic, but most importantly, call them toxic to all the other training partners in the room. No rules means no violations, and with rank comes privilege. If your black belt has an argument, well, he's fucking right, because listening to a lower rank would invalidate your entire hierarchy. Sexual abuse scandal about to pop off? Firstly, go straight to the victim, ask for evidence, confirm they have none. Then tell them to go to the police. Tell the accused black belt, you fucked up. You risked exposing my entire operation, you selfish, careless piece of shit. Take an extended vacation until this blows over. Maybe somewhere like Thailand without extradition. Okay, now the part that isn't that funny, because obviously everything I just said is a joke, right? The self-defense paradox. A lot of women come to Jiu-Jitsu for self-defense. They're told, this will make you safer, this will give you confidence, this will protect you. And for many people it does. But here's the part we don't sit with long enough. They're walking into a room where physical control is currency. Hierarchy decides whose voice carries weight, and the techniques are designed to restrain another human being. That's not an opinion, that's literally the fucking sport. We practice immobilizing people, we practice pinning people, we practice suffocating people, and we practice controlling people. And we celebrate the people who are the best at it. That type of capability surely demands some accountability. Capability without accountability. Jiu-Jitsu is physical power. Power isn't good or evil, and it doesn't corrupt. As Robert Caro illuminated in The Power Broker, power doesn't corrupt, it reveals. If you build a culture that increases someone's ability to dominate another human being, but you don't increase oversight, you don't increase transparency, you don't increase consequences, you don't create safety, create risk inside a trusted space. And when loyalty is valued more than truth, risk becomes invisible. The hard part. And before anyone says this is me pointing fingers at those bad people, I do that on Instagram, not on YouTube. I'm not outside of this Obviously. I've benefited from this system. I've laughed at things that felt off. I've ignored behavior because it wasn't convenient to challenge. I've chosen silence when speaking would have been uncomfortable, or most importantly, unprofitable. Not necessarily because I'm evil or ignorant, but because silence is rewarded. Loyalty is rewarded. Obedience is rewarded. You don't need monsters, just the right incentive. Imperfection versus protection. I'm not saying this from some moral pedestal. I'm obviously not perfect. I've obviously made selfish decisions. I've hurt people. I've behaved in ways I'm not proud of. And I'm not saying this to cleanse myself on camera. That sadly wouldn't be possible. Believe me, I have tried. I'm saying it because I want this to be clear. There is a massive difference between being imperfect and protecting abuse. There is a difference between ego and covering up harm. There is a difference between bad decisions and defending someone who uses power to violate trust. And if we blur that line, we become a part of the structure. Why it keeps repeating. People ask, why does this keep happening in Jiu Jitsu? Because we keep rebuilding the same blueprint. Hierarchy, rank worship, isolation, vulnerable beginners, no external accountability. Different academy, same incentives. We protect the hierarchy because if the hierarchy cracks, everything cracks. So we call it tradition, we call it loyalty, we call it culture. The cost. People will run great risk by speaking out. They risk ruining their reputation, their business, their relationships, most importantly, their emotional stability. I can speak out because I don't have any of those things, but I digress. That's really nothing compared to what someone loses when they walk into a gym for safety and find a bunch of creepy old men doing adult karate, preaching loyalty while hitting on all the white belts, grooming the kids and abusing other students. If I can admit I've been imperfect, if I can admit I've stayed silent, if I can admit I've benefited from a structure that wasn't always healthy, then nobody else gets to pretend they're powerless, because silence is a choice and loyalty without accountability is complicity.